Sabrina here with a wrap up. Yes, I know it's only the middle of October, but as of the 19th, i.e. tomorrow, I start Sherlockathon, and then in November I've got Believeathon. I've decided to do a quick wrap up of the books that I've already read this month, so they're not part of those readathons at all, and you know, just gets this out of the way rather than trying to have to squeeze it in the end of the month, 2 weeks after I've actually finished all these books. First up, Charmcaster by Sebastian de Castell. We finished this was our bedtime book, and we finally finished it this month. It's the third book in the Spellslinger series, which we really love. Highly recommend. Sass, wit. And this one feels more like a crossroads, as it were, in the sort of ongoing series. And the fact that by the end of this, characters are on certain paths and certain events are now going to go and have to happen. I finished Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb. This is a sci-fi new series, and it's pitched as Guardians of the Galaxy but with badass feminism. And yeah, I can see where that comparison comes in there, but I think it's more than that. It's about being true to who you are, realising that actually you can make terrible mistakes, believing you're doing the right thing. And I really enjoyed it. That it takes a little while to sort of kick in, and when you know where everybody's coming from and the world building. There's a lot of world building going on here, but I really enjoyed it. There's obviously another book in this series to come, and I'm really interested to know just how things progress, because by the end of this, things are not looking good. We're at the 11% of plan stage here. I've also managed to finish Hunted by the Sky by Tanza Bathian. This is is it Desi? Is that how we pronounce it? Fantasy series. Again, this is the first in the series. I've finished a lot of stuff this month and I'm trying to remember it all. It's a fantasy, obviously very much about oppression and prejudice and classism, and there's magic and tyranny as well in here. And it's, again, I felt it jumped a lot at the beginning, but obviously we needed time spans to get through really quickly that weren't actually really necessary for the rest of the story, but it kind of sort of jumped quite significantly. It's told from two different points of view, which is quite nice. You get to see two different sides of the story, and it's kind of a bit of instant attraction, I would say, but it's not horrific, not like some of the books I've actually been reading recently. So I quite enjoyed this. I will go and get the next one, and I love the cover, and I've just seen the cover for the sequel, and that's just as beautiful. So I recommend this a lot. I've gone through a bit of a graphic novel phase at the moment. So Heroes Volume 1. This is obviously based on the TV show of the same name, and these are, I think they were the web comics that were done at the time that sort of fit in between the episodes that we saw from season 1. So there's more character development of who we see on screen. So there's more of Claire, horn-rimmed glasses man, more of Peter and Nathan, Matt. I can't remember everybody now, it's been so long since I've seen it all. But yes, there's more details of them. Each episode is quite short within, and then there's this brilliant character called Wireless, and we get like 6 different stories with her, and they're all connected, and she's never in the show, but what she does kind of has consequences in the show. And I really wish we'd seen her on the screen, because she's a fascinating character actually, and I really loved her quite a lot. I don't know if it's because we learned her entire story through the comics, but I felt she was a really well developed character, and you know, one of those you didn't need to do the TV show to enjoy her characterization, which, you know, could be a problem. But basically, if you've watched Heroes season 1, which a lot of people will say is the best season, you're gonna love this, because it just adds those little bit more. There's some little links between everything. It just builds the universe more. You don't need this to enjoy the TV show. You can't do it the other way around for obvious reasons, but I just think it adds more to the universe. Hubby picked me up The Witcher Omnibus. Now apparently this is volume 1. It's collecting 4 standalone stories in here. The artwork is slightly different from each one. It's a little bit sort of, I don't know, how would I explain it? It's a little bit, I mean, it goes with the tone of The Witcher. It is pretty grim and dark palettes. You know, if you've played the Witcher games, if you've read the books, if you've seen the show, you know exactly what you're going to get in here. What I did like that it was focused on 4 distinct areas of Gerard's life. So it's not just Gerard from the show. So if you only know the show, you might be thinking, who's this guy? But actually, no, it's throughout his age. You know, witches live a long time, people. But it's very much focusing on the monsters, the whole that, you know, men can be monsters as well. Sometimes they're the worst ones. The war that's going on, the suffering, obviously there's sexism, there's violence, there's gore in here, there are sex scenes in here. You know, I was stood in the shop, flicked open a page, and yeah, I came to that page. Obviously it's a page that's frequently looked at in Waterstones, but hey, but you know, trigger warnings here, guys, lots of. There's implied rape, I think there might be on-screen rape, I can't actually remember, but you know, if you know The Witcher, you know what you're going to get in here. But I really enjoyed it, actually. It was quite nice to see one of the stories that I'd read in one of the books actually being displayed as graphic novel form, so it was quite cool. It's nice seeing a bit more of the mythology and the lore of the Witcher world. So I quite liked it. I'd say it's quite a huge bonus for someone who wants to know more about the Witcher universe. If you only know the TV show, pick this up and give it a go. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Last year I started blitz reading Saga, and I stopped because I didn't get volume 5. Well, look what I got. I got volume 5. This is a graphic novel sci-fi series which is massive. It spans a whole universe. It deals with a huge ongoing war between 2 different peoples. It's about love, family, loss, grief, war, conflict, prejudice, classism, racism. I mean, this series covers so much and it's awesome. Obviously I can't tell you what's going on in volume 5 without spoiling the previous ones, but needless to say, this is probably one of the best sci-fi graphic novels I have ever read. It's probably one of my favourite sci-fi stories, full stop, and I really must get the rest of the series so I can carry on reading this. Heads up though, there is violence, there is gore, there is sex, there is graphic nudity, and there's some really weird shit in this. I mean, I'm not kidding. This, like, you open up some pages and go, whoa, what am I looking at, kind of thing. Yeah, this does it all. This is not for young people. Do not get this for your 12-year-old, please. But yeah, brilliant adult sci-fi drama, and I love it so much, and I recommend this series to everybody. Please go and read Saga if you want to know how to do a huge world-spanning drama series that at its heart is about family. And then by this time tomorrow we will have finished Night Walk by Bob Shaw. This is our other bedtime book that we started this month. It's quite a skinny one, but it's very dense text, as you can see, so it's taken us a little while to get through it. But this is a sci-fi story about a man who loses his sight. He's a fugitive on the planet he's currently on. He's actually a spy, and it's about him trying to survive and escape with no eyesight, basically, in a world that is very ableist. We've nearly finished it. It's taken quite a massive whoa moment towards the end. But yeah, there is violence, there is rape in here, there is obviously ableism, and yeah, think I Am Legend as well with a dog. Okay, so I'm really enjoying it. It's quite nice to read sort of a classic sci-fi story as well, and appreciate how ahead of the time these authors actually were in the ideas that they were looking at and the concepts they were discovering and talking about. So really love Night Walk, and I kind of recommend it to a lot of people. It's not what you think it is. I also read Dragon Mountain this month by, I can't remember, it's it's a writing couple and I can't remember the name. Anyway, book up here. That's currently in my work library, so I read that because I got it in, heard good things about it. It's a nice, fun start to a series of books. Dragon Realms is a series, and it's a mixture of friendship and fantasy, good against evil, involving dragons. Yeah, really nice, good romp. Really enjoyed it. A group of kids come together for a summer school in the mountains of China and discover there's dragons, and they all link up and they have to go on an adventure. And that's just the start of the problems. By the end, we've got a major cliffhanger and things are going to roll into the next book, which I believe comes out pretty soon. And I also read Wild Spark by Vashti Hardy. This is like a steampunk fantasy story, and again, it's about loss and grief. It's not just about an adventure, it's about coming to terms with losing someone, and it's really powerful actually. I was almost in tears on the bus towards the end of the book, as well as that main storyline going on with Prue trying to bring her brother back from the dead. There's also a lot of mystery going on. There's secrets and lies, there's classism, there's prejudice going on, and there's something else happening in this world. So I'm interested to see if we get another book in this series, because I feel like there's more to be told in this world. So that's what I've managed to read up to this point in October. Like I say, next week I start Sherlockathon, but hopefully I will get through most of my Sherlockathon TBR by the end of October, and I will update you about that. I'll leave the links for Sherlockathon down below, so if you want to come and jump on board, it's not too late. We're running for a whole month, so it's not too late. You can come and join us. What have you managed to read so far in October? I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll, and I'm kind of fearful that I'm going to stop. There are still 4 massive books downstairs that I have not finished yet, and I really should have done, so I feel a little bit bad about that. What book are you really wanting to finish by the end of the month? Bearing in mind, I can't believe I'm saying this, it's November soon. Where has this year got to? What book do you want to finish by the end of the month? Let me know down below, and let me know if you're doing Sherlockathon. It'd be nice to see who's joining us. Social media links are in the description box down below. As always, you can find me on Goodreads, Twitter and Instagram. And I've just moved to the Storygraph as well because I'd had enough of Goodreads. You will find links to, like I say, Sherlockathon down there, my book blog's down there as well, so please go and check that out. And you will find links to other booktubers that I think you should go and check out, because YouTube's algorithm is almost as bad as Instagram's algorithm. So I'm sharing some brilliant booktubers that I really enjoy watching. As always, thank you very much for watching, and happy reading. Be well.